Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my August wrap up. It is still currently August when I'm reading this, but I doubt I'm going to finish any more books. There's one I'm listening to, but I'm near like the beginning, so I don't know if I'll finish it. If I do, I can update y'all either next month or something, or in a vlog if I feel a vlog. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about 6 books I read in August. So yes, I read 6 books because I started school in August, so I didn't have a lot of time to read. And I know like in July I read like 25 books, and I knew that wasn't gonna happen again because I was starting school, and so I knew that I was gonna be busy. I didn't have time to read that many books again because my schedule got more packed, more busy. I started school. I'm so consumed with that, and the hours make me so tired when I'm not in school that I'm just surprised I got this many books in. So I did make a TBR for August, and I was kind of on track with it. I finished 1 book off of my TBR, and I was reading 2 other books that were on there, but I didn't finish them. So yeah, but I did read them and everything. So I was kind of on a, but then when school started, I just wanted something that was kind of lighter and not so heavy, so I kind of put those down. So I'll get to them eventually, but just not this month. Anyway, that being said, the first one I read was Breach of Peace by Daniel B. Green. This one I really enjoyed. I've heard mixed things about it, but I personally really enjoyed it. I just found this out. I didn't know this. I got this, I believe, if not for my birthday, I think it was for my birthday, so in May, for my sister, so thank you very much. But I saw this on Amazon and I had no idea what it was. I've never heard of it, but I read the synopsis and it sounded pretty good. And apparently this is a novella, and it's gonna be like a series of novellas before the actual novel comes out, so it's kind of like, I guess, setting up this world before you get like the actual novel. Normally it's like the novel and then the novellas that go back in time to show you more of the world, but this one's setting it up for you ahead of time before you go into the first official novel, which I think is really cool and interesting. The other one I think I kind of saw that was like that was Murderbot series that I read in July. Yeah. Those are novellas, and there's the 6th one's like a full-length novel, so it's kind of like that in a way, but a little different. But I really like this. I read this review where they didn't like it, and I didn't agree with anything that they said. That I really like this. Yeah, it's short because it's a novella, and it's supposed to just like build things up sort of the world, so it's not supposed to have a lot in here. But even the stuff that I did, I felt connected to the characters. They were saying that like because it was so short, that it didn't really give them a lot of time to really get connected to the characters and really like feel for them and like them, but I honestly did right away. And so with how this went, how it ended, it really got to me. I I felt the pain that these characters felt and everything, and it was just really good. I like this world, these characters. I can't wait to continue with it whenever they come out, and then like the novellas, in order to get to the actual full-length novel. I'm just so excited to see where this world goes with these characters. So yeah, and I'm kind of intrigued because of the way this ended. I want to see how it will continue from here. I mean, I know it will in a way, and I know it's like setting it up, but like I just want to see how it's going to go about it. So I'm intrigued. I really enjoy this. It's literally like under 200 pages. But the other thing that I didn't know about that I just recently found out, this author is actually a YouTuber here on BookTube. I saw one of his videos, and I didn't even know about it at first, but I saw his videos. It was like him roasting people's bookshelves. It's so funny. Go check him out. He's hilarious. And I even saw Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. He posted his bookshelves on there, and then Daniel like roasted his bookshelves, but he didn't even roast it that hard. Some of them he does, but like in a funny way and everything. But anyway, when I saw the video, I liked it, and I didn't know that he was the author of this. But then I kept on seeing this kind of come up in his video, like the one I was watching, on people's shelves, and like people had like face on their shelves because he's the author of it. So I didn't know that at first, and he was like, I like your taste in that book. Like I was like, and then I kind of saw his name. I was like putting 2 and 2 together, and then I looked him up on Twitter, and it said like the author of it. So I was like, oh, he's the author of this one. And I hadn't read it yet. I had it, but I hadn't read it yet. And that's what made me want to read it even more. And it was really short, so I was like, I've been wanting to get to this. So I got to it, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this. I don't care what other people say. It's really good. And it's a novella. It's not supposed to have a lot. Like, it's good for what it is. Supposed to just build up this world at a time, you know, slowly, before the full-length novel and everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. And then after that, I read The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This was my book of the month pick for this month. And I know this is technically part of a series, but I guess they are kind of standalones. The first one being The Kiss Quotient, I think the second one being The Bride Test. They are technically part of a series, but they follow like the different characters. Like the guy in here is a side character in the first one. He's friends with like the main characters from the first one. I don't know if the second characters, or the characters in the second book, if they show up or not in here. They didn't reference it. They referenced the first one, so yeah, but it's not like too much to where it spoils it. So I feel like it is a good standalone, and I think he does, Quan, the main character, does show up in The Kiss Quotient as a side character. So it's following Quan, like I just said, the guy, and then our main character, which I believe is Anna. Yes, this one, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, not in a bad way. It's good. It's a good book, but there was just some stuff that I didn't like, but I saw the purpose it had for, like, not, I wouldn't say I didn't like it. It was just annoying, but I understood it, if that makes sense, because she deals with, I forgot what it is. I forget what it's called. It's some kind of like mental illness, sort of, but she hasn't been diagnosed with it, but she's been living with it. And you just see all that, and see how people are like, especially her family, walking all over her, and how she just like, it was just like annoying. But that's because I don't have to deal with that, so I appreciate the talk about it and just seeing that point of view, how they, you know, react to stuff, how they deal with stuff, just the whole conversation with that. So yeah, stuff was annoying, but I understood why. And then you saw the build of her also coming to terms with what she has, and like getting diagnosed with it, and explaining of all, you know, explaining why she is the way she is, and it like made sense to her. Her family freaking annoyed me so much, but some of them kind of came around towards the end. So that's why I did love this book, because there was stuff that annoyed me, but for a reason. Like, it was meant to be like that, to convey this message, to talk about this mental illness, and it did it so beautiful. I really loved it. I love their romance. Anna and Quan is so beautiful. I really loved it. So yeah, I really like this. So just going in knowing that there might be stuff that might annoy you, but it's for a reason. So understand that, like, everyone deals with things differently, and because I don't have that same mental illness, the stuff that she was dealing with that annoyed me, I would deal with differently, or I wouldn't really have the problems, because I would stand up for myself or something, because I don't have that same mental illness that she does, that kind of stops her from, how do you say, like, reacting a certain way. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but so I just appreciate this talk of this mental health thing. I'm trying to think what it was. It was like, honestly, I forgot what it's called. Like, it's kind of there, but I don't know how to like say it or pronounce it. But it's really good. I totally recommend it. I want to go back and read the other two in this book, but I saw this one on there. I love the cover, and it sounded really interesting, so I read it. And I liked it. Then after that, I guess I was just in the mood for more, I wouldn't say these are lighter, because some of these have like kind of hard-hitting topics within them, but they're also like no fantasy in a way, except for like the first one. So this next one is Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. This is the book of the month pick I got as an ad. No, was this one of the months? I don't even know. But I got this one, their book of the month. It's pretty short, and I was like kind of still in the mood for kind of like a romancy, and this is that, but I've also heard that it makes you cry, so I was like, I kind of feel like crying, but I didn't know it was going to do me like this. So yes, it made me cry. I honestly don't even know how to explain this. I just recommend you reading it yourself. It's really good. I love the stuff that's talked about in here, I kind of related to some stuff, especially when it comes to love. Like, what is really the meaning of it? Like, I guess she just kind of lost her faith in love or stuff like that, and I get that, and I understand it, especially with what I've been going through lately. But I just love it. And then her kind of like finding it again, but then it's also too, she kind of gets like this power in a way, about, or she can see couples whole relationship from like the beginning to the end, or not just like end sometimes doesn't mean like a breakup, but most of them were a breakup, but like she saw this older couple and the end meant like someone dying. And then this ending, oh my god, I'm sorry, I can't even talk about this ending because but it was kind of like, there's a part in there that was kind of like a foreshadow in a way, but you wouldn't have guessed it was a foreshadow. Like, I don't even know how. I'm speechless, honestly. This book was really good. I really liked it, and it really made me cry. It was literally the night before I was about to start school. I was reading this, and I was so close to finishing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish this. And it just made me sob. I'm about to cry just thinking about how this ended. Like, it made me sob the day before I start school. So when a book can make you cry, you know it's a good one. That's all I gotta say. And then after that, I guess I wanted something a little bit more lighter than that. This one does still talk about some other subjects that should be talked about, but it's not so heavy in the sense where I bawled my eyes out. But that is If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. I love this cover. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to get it. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. Second of all, this is just like a nice paperback, like so floppy, and it's kind of like a bigger size. And I knew it was like a kind of like a Cinderella-esque retelling, not like specifically, but kind of. And so just hearing that, I knew I had to get it. And then so one of the main subjects that we do talk about here that is important is, of course, in the fashion world, how there's still that stereotype where we have to be skinny. Like, clothes are only made for skinny people, and that is not the case. Not everyone's like that. A lot of us are a little bit more, have meat on us, or a little bit bigger, or a little bit curvier. Like, I know I'm like that. I'm not skinny. I got meat on me, and I'm a Latina. I got curves, girl. Okay. I got a booty. I got hips. I got thick thighs. Like, I have trouble finding clothes too. Just after reading this, I went shopping to get stuff for school, and literally everything that was in my size was smaller. It didn't even fit me. I was like, what the heck? It was so annoying. Like, literally everything's getting smaller and smaller, and that's literally talked about in here because she's a plus size main character, so I love that for us. And there's also a little bit like Bachelor-esque thing in here. I've never watched Bachelor, but I really liked this type of way. And the main character is also just graduated from fashion school and everything, so that's why that's also a big relevant topic in here, because she loves fashion and shoes. She loves shoes. She has a big shoe collection. That's the other thing that got me. I love shoes. Yeah, she's also in the fashion industry, and she just noticed, I'm sorry about these loud cars just revving their engine, not even going that fast. It's a crappy old car. Anyway, yeah, she is in the fashion industry, and she just noticed that like there's not a lot of like higher end brands creating clothes for plus size women, or not even just plus size, but people who aren't, you know, skinny, like models, supermodels or whatever. But some of us don't even have to be like plus size, but we still have some meat on us, or we're more curvier. We got like maybe a butt and some hips, but we're still kind of maybe like our waist is a little slim. But even then, like, you know, fashion designers make it for people who are like just like a stick. I'm not saying anything against it. Like, if you're like that, then good for you, like work it. But like, there's also other people who aren't like that shouldn't have to be grouped into those, you know, categories that have to be like, oh, you have to be like this in order to wear these clothes. Like, no, you should make clothes for all body types. Like, no one's perfect. We all have different body types, and we all own that and everything. Like, some people are skinny, it works for you, like your metabolism, that's just how it goes. But some people are not, and so we shouldn't have to be like having that forced upon us and seeing that and being like, only these clothes fit skinny types. So I'm like, oh, now I have to be skinny. Like, sometimes, like, no, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, I'm rambling here. I need to shut up. But I just love this book, the topic. But I will have to say the ending was a little lackluster, I want to say. Like, it was just too simple. Like, after everything they went through, after everything that was said and done in this book, it was just like yeah, okay, forgive you. Like, I don't know. It just, I was expecting more from the ending. It was okay. I didn't like hate it. It was fine, but it was just like too simple. If you know what I mean? Like, it was just like wrapped up too simple and a pretty bow. Like, it's fine to wrap it up, but I wanted something more from it. If that makes any sense. I don't know, if you read it, you'll know what I mean. But I did still really enjoy the whole story. It was just the ending was a little lackluster for me. After that, I read one of my favorite books of the month. I don't even know how to talk about this book. I kind of want to do like a review on this book to go more in depth, but we'll see. I don't currently have the book. I do own it, but I lent it to my friend to read it. But this book just messed me up in like the perfect way, and that is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Oh my gosh. I was so skeptical going into this book because of like the stuff I've heard. I've heard raving reviews, so it's not about it being bad. It's just about what it was about in a way. So it's a bully romance, and so when I heard that, I was like, But the way it's done, it's not really like. I mean, yeah, I wasn't like not toxic, but also too in a way it wasn't like really toxic in the sense. It was just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was more of a commentary and kind of making our main character try to see like what she was doing was either wrong, that like, so like, you know, it's just hard to explain, but I really enjoyed it. I know people say it's toxic. I've seen worse. Look at After. But anyway, this is not like that. There's some stuff that maybe could be a little bit, you know, frowned upon, but also too, they're teenagers. They're in high school. They're still learning how to, you know, all that, to communicate, to talk about things, to, I don't know. But it's really not that bad than I thought. And there's just so many good parts to it. The angst was everything. The smut was so good. Yeah, the romance was so good. I loved everything. There were so many good quotes in there, good sayings, good, just, I don't know. I was reading this, and every time I put it down, it was just on my mind. I was thinking about it constantly, about what I just read, about how everything was going. Like, it was so good. And my friend wanting to read it, and I'm just there like, be like, dude, like, you have to read this. It's so good. And so as soon as I finished it, I gave it to my friend, and I'm waiting for her to read it so that we can talk about it, because I need someone to talk about it with. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, and then even at the end, she even like, Penelope Douglas has like notes saying that this is something completely different that she's ever written, and that she's like kind of other stuff that she's seen written, because it has more of a commentary vibe and has that in there about like being true to yourself, about, you know, stuff like that. And I really appreciate that, especially for people who are in high school, because when I was reading our main character at the beginning, I felt like I related to her in certain senses, like how you kind of have to be in high school, how sometimes you like want to fit in, or like how sometimes you can lose who you are in a way, and like all that. So there's some parts that annoy me, but I saw why it was done after a while, because like I was like, you don't get it, but I was like, wait, if you look at his side of it, I get why he's doing that, because he sees it, he wants to like show her like, you don't have to do this. Like, it was, I loved it. That's all I have to say. It's probably one of my favorite books of the year so far. There's probably a lot of other ones too like this, but right now I can't get this book out of my head. It's so good. I see why it runs over Misha. Ryan was really good too, but Misha, y'all. Misha, I freaking love Misha. Okay, I might stop talking about that because I might do a review, but we'll see. Probably I'll wait until I get the book back so I can like go back and see like certain quotes and certain parts of the book I want to talk about. But anyway, enough said on that. I loved it. 5 out of 5. Perfect. And then after that, I didn't know what else to read. I was looking on Libby for an audiobook that's something quick I can just like listen to, and I picked up, because I was actually looking at this one a while back. I picked up The Royal We by Heather Cox. This one seemed pretty interesting, and I literally listened to it like a whole night because I couldn't sleep, because I like took a big fat nap during the day, and so overnight I couldn't really fall asleep, so I just listened to this whole thing, and I had school the next morning, but whatever. And it was so good. Like, this is the type of story, like, it doesn't really have a plot, but it's more character based, and it's just basically their story over time, how everything happened, how it was just, I don't know, so good. And of course it's royal, so it deals with that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's so good. It starts off when they like first met, when they're at college, their friends, how all that kind of goes about, how their relationship starts, their problems, their issues, especially when it comes to his family, the royals, when it comes to the public, and then even else like with the breakup, and then just like it was just like chronological order, like kind of how everything happened, and then other stuff that was going on with their friends and other drama stuff, and it was just so good. There's a second one. I did start that one. It's a little, it's not, I don't get the same vibes as it, because of course it's like after this one, so it doesn't deal with like, you know, kind of like stuff like that. It continues off where the first one ends, after something happens. So we're seeing that, and I want to continue with it to see where it goes, because, you know, I want to see how they deal with it, if anything else happens, what happens, whatever, you know, all of that. So I really did like it. It was really good, you know, something quick and easy, and I was just so intrigued by their life and how everything happened, how everything like went about, you know. It was just pretty interesting. So I read that one. Pretty simple, easy, fun read. Yeah, that is all the books I have for August. I hope this video doesn't come out too long, because I did talk a lot, especially about Punk 57. Right now it's at like 23 minutes, so we'll see if I can cut that down. Because I only read 6 books. I don't want this to be long, but I don't know how to shut up, so we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that's all the books I had to talk about today. If you have read any of these or want to read any of these, please comment down below. I would love to talk with y'all. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.